Wow. That is amazing. Look at the size of that gear. It's like a coal mine hoist on steroids. I've returned to the Duquesne Incline. Welcome everyone to another Pittsburgh adventure. I'm here now, back for the third time, but for my second attempt to ride the Duquesne Incline. That's because my first attempt here, in the previous video, it actually ended up being inoperable. It was broken. We weren't able to ride it, so we ended up doing the Monongahela for a second time. But on our way here, taking the bus here, we did see it is operational. The funicular cars are going up and down, so I think we're going to be successful today to finally take it to the top. And as you can probably hear and tell, it is quite windy. And also joining me too are some special guests, Kara and Richard Wolf. They are filming and joining me for today to do a couple adventures. And there it comes right now. So yes, if you want to join us for the Duquesne Incline to see what kind of views we get, well, you know what to do. Just come along with us. Now, just a couple of quick facts. This is owned and operated by the Port Authority. So in order to pay your fare, all you do is get your Connect tickets. I believe it's a $2.50 fare. And you can ride it for leisure. Others do it for commuting. I feel like I'm doing this for the first time using my phone. I believe it was built 1870. It's one of two existing inclines here, this and the Monongahela. But reportedly, this one allows you to see the workings of it as to how it operates up at the top. And it's going to give us a whole different viewpoint of the downtown area. So, all right, I guess we're all ready to go. So, we'll see you on the incline car. All right, so we paid our fare with our ticket.
Now, when you come back, you'll have to stand in.
Okay.
Green light is.
Okay. Green light means go. On to Mr. Rogers' trolley. There's looking up. This is going to be a fun ride. Have you been on one of these before? No. So it's their first time riding a funicular railway. So I'm going to be kind of curious to see what they think of it.
Is this like Mr. Rogers' trolley?
Oh my goodness, she's freaking out.
Look at the inside. It's like a copper ceiling.
This is interesting little even this lantern in the Duquesne Incline car number 1.
I did make a funny joke in my last video here. I was saying that these were created to look like Mr. Rogers' trolley, but it's just coincidence. This was created much earlier than when the Mr. Rogers show did start, but
in here.
Yeah, it's leaving. We don't want to miss the one of us not get on board. All right.
And up and away we go, I think.
Yeah, I'll give you the view going up. Oh, you can see through. All right, cables, don't fail me now.
Yeah.
As we're coming up, the other one's coming down, and when we do meet, that is the halfway point. So it's like a Mr. Rogers trolley on stilts.
Yeah. Pretty much what it looks like. There's the other one as it passes. It's like it's got a lift kit in the back, but not in the front.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, this is much different than the Monongahela as far as the way the track system is on the way up. You can see some old knob and tube wiring too. Insulators.
Yeah.
And the top looks like a haunted house to me, at least.
Yeah, it does too.
Yeah, we are. Oh, the lamp is shaking. Oh yeah, there's actually a lot of information up here. It's like a little history museum itself. So as we unboard, come into the main area here, it says opened May 20th, 1877. Operated since 1963 by the Society for the Preservation of the Duquesne Heights Incline. So Monongahela is 1870. This one's 1877. That's where I got them mixed up. Walls are just covered in old photos. Old area looking at the Fort Pitt area. Streetcar service down Liberty. Right there is the operator's room, I guess you want to call it that. Probably got the best view in the house. Here's a look too at some of the older inclines here. Different areas, different dates, different designs. That one's pretty neat too. So if you liked the funicular railways, the inclines, this place definitely has a good bit of coverage of them. That one says Pittsburgh and Knoxville Incline, 1890 to 1960. And that one is unique because it goes around a curve. You see it curving right around there. So that's different than the ones we've ridden here, which just go in a straight section of the track. You get yourself some pressed pennies up here for 51 cents. Souvenirs looks like is closed until further notice, which is unfortunate. But they do have, when it's open, photographs for sale. Some spectacular ones too, looking in downtown area. As we make our way over, this will take us to the observation deck. There's some more items that are available for purchase. A little incline car, books, ornaments, shot glasses. It's a neat rendition here, Pittsburgh Points in Time. Native Americans here looking at Fort Pitt area, Point State Park area. Different time in life in the same area. Turning into the city, and now what it is today, how it transformed. 1763, 1816, 1873, present day. Duquesne Heights Incline hoisting machinery of the incline, 12-foot drive gear, has 130 pairs of replaceable wooden gear teeth. Pretty remarkable. Okay, so yeah, we're getting some kind of behind the scenes access here.
Seriously?
Museum self-guided tour, and has the things labeled so you know what you're looking at. Bull wheels, hoist, supports. So when it actually goes down again, we'll be able to see this operating. I think we could actually get down lower too. There it is, 3 rings.
Machinery in motion.
Wow. It's a big web of cables and wheels and inner workings. Check out over here. Wow. That is amazing. The size of that gear. It's like a coal mine hoist on steroids. It says 75 horsepower, 250 volt, 270 amps, 580 revolutions per minute. DC, direct current. Gear reduction unit, 6.88 to 1. You can see down there where it's labeled the electric motor. That's chain driven, driving this. And it's connected to, it's actually working a couple different things. That gear there is turning this big wheel, which is connected to a chain, which is connected to in there, but there's a shaft going to the bigger hoist right there. So it's all interconnected. You wouldn't think someone should be involved just for operating a funicular, but that is what it takes. It's nearing the top and bottom right now, slowing down to a crawl. Looks like they even have a backup system here if the other motor was to break. This one here could be connected to it to power it. So look at some of the old tools and equipment, signage. And that cable is just suspended, going right through there, back into the main room here, which is all, like I said, a big interweb connection. There's a diagram here kind of showing. So we were just looking at that. There's a glare here, I know. We were just looking at that. The cable came through. We are right here now. And it connects to the two wheels for the two cars. So they spin in opposite directions, one to bring it up, one to lower it. And that's essentially how it works. Full wheel room identification chart is what it's called. A working museum. That is really great. I'm glad they have this here to kind of illustrate how, involved it is, but also how cool at the same time. So this section right here, these two wheels, is right there. Almost looks like ski lift wheels. Here's a look underneath the car. It's hard to see with the dirty glass, but that is the wheels on the track. And we'll see it pass by. There it is. There goes the trolley. Here's a look at the next Incline car making its way up to the top. These cars are very different from the Monongahela one, which are kind of sitting on an incline. So there's different rows of seating. This one's completely flat. Okay, it's on that kind of stilt to keep it level. Here we are on the outside now, and the great thing about this one, it actually has its own outside observation deck / viewing platform. As I spin around here, you can start to see the view that we have. They even have those viewfinders too. But like in previous trips to the Monongahela one, I'm going to pull out my Panasonic and we're going to get some up close and personal shots from a distance. And if you look, you see what I see? The Point State Fountain is officially working as of about a week ago. So we came back for a third time and we finally are successful to see it in person. But you'll see that fountain and learn some history that I learned about it in a separate video. Alright, so we switched to the Panasonic. If there's any wind, I do apologize, but I'm going to give you some zoomed in shots, show you some things we couldn't see from the other incline. Some more bridges there in the distance. As I mentioned before, this is called the City of Bridges, as well as the Steel City. Got a little boat in the water. Looks so tiny from here. Looking at the USS Requin, located at the Carnegie Science Center. Got the privilege to get a tour of the inside of that, which is included with your admission of the museum. And just to the right is the Heinz Field. I'm going to start off here and zoom in on the fountain, get a bird's eye view of it. You can tell it's windy, the water is blowing. And there she is. And there goes the incline car. It's actually a gorgeous shot right there. There's the boat, they're cruising. The one thing I wanted to point out, I was showing Richard and Kara, if you could tell, is you can see the separation of the two rivers. There's a clear line where the far side is kind of cloudy and murky, and the closer side to us is lighter in color, and it's where the two rivers do meet, with the Allegheny over there and the Monongahela over here, forming the Ohio River. But it's pretty neat how it's almost like oil and water separating the two rivers. See the overspray of the water from the fountain. It's like they're sitting down, gonna get a little spritz of water there. Oh, looks like they're doing some filming. So what do you think?
I like it. I like this view. I like that incline. That's definitely a different experience. Never ridden on I didn't know rails went that steep.
It's like a slow roller coaster.
Yeah. We just hope that the cables don't break on it.
Exactly. I always like to do one of these shots where it keeps me in color and does black and white. Nice contrast there, city in the background. And the fountain is right there. It looks really small from here, but it's actually quite impressive in person. If you guys are wondering how I do this too, it's not through editing, it's actually through the phone. It's called Live Portrait through the Galaxy S10, and the S20 I think has it as well. But when you do that, you choose the one setting that keeps me in focus and in color. Everything else is blurred out. Now if I take myself away, everything's black and white. If I bring myself back in, I'm back to being in color. So I know people have asked about that. This is done through the phone. It can also be done through editing, but when you can do it live, it saves you a lot of work in the editing process later on. So as I've stated in the past, these signs are here for a reason. I'm pretty certain someone has dropped their items. So when you do come here, be responsible with your stuff, because if you do drop it, it's going all the way down there, and there's a good chance you're not going to get it back. And even though we already stated some facts, here's a little placard up here confirming everything. Length 800 feet, 400 feet in elevation, 30-degree angle, 6 miles per hour, total of 18 passengers per car. Opened in 1877, rebuilt all steel 88, 1900 the new lower station, 32 electrical replaced steam-powered engines, closed in 62, reopened in 63, and has been operating ever since. And there's a look at the original incline. Where we are right now is right here, and that's where the steam plant would have been. So this decking right here housed the steam-powered equipment and engines to power the incline. So that's some more unique history about it. But even though we're not here at nighttime, during the daytime it does give us a great view of the city. And there's another one coming up on wide angle. I mean, from a distance here, it's simply breathtaking. What do you guys think? I think the views don't get much better than this, because whether you take this incline or the Monongahela, and whether you come daytime or nighttime, you can't really lose. As long as it's not a cold, rainy day, it's worth taking the trek here for $2.50. It's well worth that little fare to come up here. And despite the windy conditions, it is breathtaking with the clouds, the blue sky, the different colors in the landscape. It's just unbeatable. It's one of the best views I've seen in person. And each time I do see it, I'm just like, my mouth is like, wow. It's just like a whole new feeling all over again. I just come to appreciate, you know, being able to do this and to share it with you guys. So I just wanted to put that out there. But we're going to spend a few more moments up here, snap a few photos, and then we'll show you the view on the way down back to the new, well, old new lower station. All right, we're going to head back down. Going to go on the green light and board once again Mr. Rogers' trolley. And this time I'm going to give you a view on the way down, but we're going to do it in record time. So once we start moving, we'll be down there in just a few seconds. So that was a look at the Duquesne Incline. Happy to say that today was a success. Coming back here for the second time, it was operational. We got to ride it, got to see all the inner workings downstairs in the museum area. By far, I definitely enjoy this one more than the Monongahela. Now, some people were misinformed. They did think this was the older, more dated one. This is 7 years newer than Monongahela. So even though it's not as old, it's still by far a much better experience where you get to learn about the history of the inclines in different parts of the world, see how they used to, you know, replace from steam to electric. He must be hungry. And aside from that though, the museum area does require 50 cents to go through a turnstile. Unfortunately, the change machine was not working, so the operator attendant was nice enough to let us go through, so thank you to him for doing that. But if you do come here, I would bring a pocket full of quarters just in case if you want to see that downstairs workings area. That is by far the coolest part, to see the big spools of cable and the gears and the hoist. It's a really intricate process, and it works, you know, for so long. For the most part, like clockwork, it just does its own thing, and it's been a reliable source and a way of moving those cars up and down Mount Washington here. I'd love to hear your feedback though. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to check out their videos as well, which will be linked down below. It was their first time doing the incline, and overall, they said they did enjoy it. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for joining me on another Pittsburgh adventure. And like always, I'll see you in the next video.